So I got an unpopular opinion when it comes to dating. And I feel like when you're dating somebody or when you're in a relationship with somebody, your partner doesn't owe you anything. That's not to say you can have expectations in terms of how you deserve to be treated. But like when people talk about how, when you date somebody, you gotta buy flowers, you gotta open the door, you gotta have a home cooked meal ready when they get off work. Like, none of that is required. And I feel like the moment you accept the fact that it's not required, it makes those acts of kindness and those acts of love all the more, like, important. I feel like when you make stuff like that an obligation, it takes away from the genuine act of them showing that they considered you and care about you. Like, don't get me wrong, I think it's very important that you communicate to your partner what your love language is and that you teach your partner how you want to be loved. But I feel like if you have to provide consistent prompting or when you have to make things a requirement, like every day or every Friday, every other Friday, I want flowers or something like that. Like, if your partner doesn't take the initiative to do those things for you, those things that they know make you feel loved, I think that's where the problem comes in. Because I think there's a certain emotion attached to not having to prompt your partner and knowing that they just thought about you and that was on their heart to do it for you. Like, that's special. So the more I talk about it, I'm starting to realize that maybe it's a me thing. I've always been a giver. And I like to take heed to what your love language is, and I want to provide you with that. But I also am the type of lover where I want to provide you with all the love languages. Like, I like to give a nice variety. So, like, if you say your love language is physical touch, I'll give you physical touch. But I'm also going to give you hella acts of service. I'm going to give you words of affirmation. I will drop everything in my schedule to make sure you know that I know quality time with you is important. I want you to feel it on all levels. Like, I want my intentions and my efforts to be very clear about how I feel about you and let you know that I'm thinking about you and I'm considering you on all levels, right? But as mindful as I am in trying to do that, and that's not to say I'm perfect, I'm just mindful, I try to do it more, I'm not good at expressing my own love language. And, like, I know it's not a good thing, right, to not be clear about what my love language is. But I think that over time, and this may very well be a trauma response, I have learned to sit back and say to myself, okay, if they think about you, if they consider you, if they care about you, they'll find one of the 5 ways to express it. And I just kind of wait and see in what ways people consider me. Like, do you consider me on any of these levels, or are you just going to sit back and not show me any of it? Like, I don't know. This is interesting. I might have to journal about this, actually. Now that I think about it. Like, I don't tell people how I like to feel affection. I just wait to see how you want to express it to me. And, like, I'm trying to cut this short because I don't want to go on too long of a tangent. But, like, I know in the past, like, I've tried to engage in physical touch. I've been rejected. I've tried to make quality time a priority. And would get brushed off because they'd rather spend time with their friends. I know there are times when I've asked for reassurance, words of affirmation, and I was told I was needy. So, like, maybe it's because I've dealt with people who consistently shut me down when I tried to ask for those things, that I've learned to not ask for them and not demand them. And I feel like if you're going to give them, you're going to give them. If you're not, you're not. All I can do is give what I know how to give, and we're going to see where you at, where your head is at when it come to me. So maybe it's just a me thing. Maybe I need to up my standards. Like, y'all see how important it is to talk through things? Like, that just opened my eyes to the fact that I am not very good at expressing what it is that makes me feel loved. I'm not good at teaching people how to love me. Or at least I've adopted the bad habit of thinking that telling people how I needed to be loved was unimportant, and that I should just sit back and wait and see how they choose to love me. But I have to actually start communicating, like, this is what I want, this is what I need, this is how I feel affection, this is how I feel cared for. And I have to give them the opportunity to take initiative and want to learn that, and then go from there. This was good. Thank y'all for listening to me.